made the heavens, planted the earth, gave us stars for direction. But what was it worth if we don't have love? Oh, your perfect love. You filled the oceans, painted the sky, gave us each other. So tell me why, why we're lacking love. Oh, why we're lacking love. Love. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Yeah, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, you can prophesy, speak in the tongues you made. But if you don't have compassion, how will they understand that we were made from love? Oh, we were made from love. Oh, yeah. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? My Lord, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Oh, can't you see the darkness trying to divide? Oh, you know it's up to us to keep shining bright and let our hearts stay lifted high. Time to spread more love. Oh, oh, oh. Perfect love. Supernatural love. Your love.
Good morning! Welcome to A Cup of Grata with a shot of expression and 2 squirts of reality. I have a phenomenal co-squirt this morning. But before I get into that, I want to say a huge thank you to True Osborne. Please support our artists, but go to the osbornelove.com. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, John. I see you. Thank you. It's nice to see you. We have a really special treat for everybody today. It's incredible, actually. You know, I was in Mount Shasta not long ago, and I have an interesting story from there that I'll share because there's something really magical about this place. And so far, anybody that I have been introduced to that lives in Mount Shasta is just literally like they're star beings. I don't even know what else to tell you. And Jamie Lou, she's the embodiment of the Divine Mother, and that she is. She is one of many embodiments here on this planet today to bring the heart of humanity into pure light of their own spirit. Christ is the Christ or crystalline frequency Jamie Lou channels in her sound medicine. With this spiritual medicine, she assists individuals in their awakening to the true nature of reality and the limitless being of love that we have come here to be, where spiritual gifts and inner knowledge through the crystalline light body are activated. Oh. A cup of gratitude indeed. Jamie Lou, welcome. Wow. I can feel your energy I'm just sitting here feeling your energy. And if anybody's on here right now, I want you to just take a minute and feel into this divine essence of pure love. Wow. You are one of the most remarkable young ladies your sound healing, which I cannot even describe the bowls that you have. I've been in the room where these bowls are. So, well, I've never seen the likes of it in my life. Your sound healing it's literally out of this world. But I want to just go ahead and take a jump in here. Say welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild, but also thank you for all that you do in this world, because through sound, that is where the true essence of healing is. And I do know this, but I cannot wait for you to let us know why that is true from your experience.
Oh, thank you so much, Debbie. Wow. First, I mean, I love that song.
Isn't
That
it
song
great?
was, oh, yes, and it's perfect. It's perfect for what we're here to talk about. You know, the power of love, and one of the there you go. One of the greatest lies humans were ever told is that we lack this, that we lack fundamentally love, and it's not true. It's not true in reality. Um, who and what we are is actually far more powerful and resourceful than we know. And I feel that maybe what we'll ever know, you know, that love itself, the truth of love, is really not comprehensible. You know, it's not something that we can grasp with our handy dandy minds. You know, this is not, it doesn't come in a really nice size package with handles. You know?
Wait a minute. I don't understand that. That's what when we were like deciding to come, they told me I was going to get that nice package with handles. It just didn't. What's up? Jamie, I always laugh when a baby's crying. I'm like, I know, honey, I know. They forgot to tell you about that part, didn't they? You know, the diaper thing. It's just, they totally didn't tell us about the diaper thing, and it became one of our traumas. I'm telling you.
Oh yes, yes. So many gifts that we've been given as humans, and I'm sure diaper trauma is one of them.
You know, I know it is because I mean, just it's got to be. Just say it. I have extra empathy for those babies. Laughter is the frequency of joy. It's the frequency of love, and it is the frequency that I love to reside in when possible.
Oh, yes, yes, and it is our birthright. I mean, this is what abundance is. This is abundance, and you know, thank you for saying that, Debbie, because you know, it's these things: laughter, joy, just even if it's just a second that we get to touch that we get to experience that, even if it's just a second, how incredibly important and vital and precious that is. You know, just to have a breath
Yes.
and have that feel good and have that actually, you know, allow yourself to laugh and to feel good inside. This is it's almost revolutionary at this point in our world, and it is. It's a revolutionary state of being, not just a place to act from. It's a state of being, and you know, it's revolutionary because we have forgotten as a
We have
collective.
got
We've forgotten that this is our birthright. We've forgotten that, you know, we can feel good, and we should be feeling good. It's our
That's
right
right.
to feel good, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
You know it. It's absolutely. It's our right. In fact, you know what? Those that are watching right now, I want you to claim it. It is your right to feel good. Period. Claim that. Put it into the chat. It is my right to feel good. Now, Jamie, I'm really curious. You are an absolutely awakened, vibrant soul. How did you what's been your journey? I don't want to get into past stories and stuff like that too
Mhm.
much because
Mhm.
we really have a lot of current right now in the
Yeah.
moment stuff to share,
Yes, we
but
do.
at least to give them a basis of understanding of where this foundation was first created.
Absolutely. So if you're familiar with human design, this is the shortest way I could sum it up. For all you human designers out there, I was born in the right cross of tension. So my life story is not a pleasant one. It's meant to walk with tension and really learn the wisdom of tension, because wisdom comes from tension. We cannot have light without the darkness. And it is especially true with compassion. Compassion, you don't just like get that. You know what I mean? You don't. It doesn't come in a book that you can learn and you can get certified in. Okay, when teachers often speak about compassion, I notice that in my studies, I look around the room and I'm a big observer. I look around the room and I just see eyes glazing. Like, what is that? Right? What is this compassion that you're speaking of? What is this compassion that this teacher is emitting? And we can possibly feel the waves if we're open to receiving it. But what is that really? And this has been my path. My path of life has been learning about compassion and embodying what that is, actually bringing it into expression, into action, even if there's great adversity, even if there is great conflict, even if I'm in the middle of a storm. But if I'm in the middle of a storm, there's something inside me that moves me to become the one island of peace. And that to me is compassion. That is the power of compassion that we can have for ourselves. So we could become that island of peace in the middle of a storm, and the compassion that we can offer to others. So we can say, hey, I'm an island of peace. It's safe. It's safe to become your own island of peace. It's your birthright to become your own island of peace. Hey, you actually have the power to do this, to become this, to transform your inner world and find that peace. We all each have an island of peace within us. And when we come to cultivate and nurture it, that island becomes a nation. It becomes a world. It becomes a universe. Okay? This, in essence, is what I have experienced in my life, what I've had to go through with the adversities I have faced ever since childhood. And in childhood, I have been, there's just incredible tendency to get beat up. A lot of bullying in my childhood. And I know this with star seeds, especially with
Right.
angels, right?
Totally. It is so true. Actually, I want to jump in for a moment with
Mhm.
you because something that you said is literally my tagline, without your dark, you wouldn't know your spark.
I love that.
When you said your life has been tension, I'm like, yes, agree. I actually went on this journey of deciding to change that story even. Like, I even changed that. I was like, I think I'm gonna rewrite this because I think this needs to be rewritten, that everything was perceivably, to me, difficult. And some people watching it right now have watched me go through, uh, you know, not all that long ago, 3 years or so ago, huge transitions that people were going, "How are you how are you doing it?" With grace and ease and gratitude, because what else is there to do? When you've had all things stripped from you and you are completely there at the bare bones of life, there's nothing left but pure gratefulness in the moment present. That's it. And there is nothing more. It took a lot of work to get to that point of not thinking the world had happened to me, but it was happening for me.
Yes.
So I'm imagining right now when you're telling me about the tension that it was a lot like that. Tell me about
Yes.
this childhood. What was going on?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, tension makes takes many forms, and we're going to have our own personal experience with that. That's what life is meant for. And this is what I've come to learn is life is about learning and growing and coming into that presence with it, because that's where we start tapping into the gratitude, right? Gratitude's another one, and they didn't just show up to our front door, wrapped up in a pretty bow. Oh.
Yeah, that's true. Another I was completely misled. I was told it was going to show. Okay, so down two now. There's no bow, and it didn't show up at my front door.
Right.
Yeah, but we all wait in limbo for how long, thinking that that's going to happen.
That's it. Yeah, and I can understand that frustration. It's I'll speak to my own. I've endured just a lot of attacks. So this theme of attacks. That's kind of the pattern in my life story, and it created a lot of victim wounding. So it's a lot of that thinking, like you were just saying, like, why me? What did I do to piss these people off? I'm just being myself, innocent, and all of a sudden I'm receiving this treatment. And it doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel good in my body. I feel all of a sudden small and weak. I don't feel like I'm not a fighter, so I'm not going to fight back. So what do I do? I feel like I'm hanging out in limbo here, trying to understand the world, and the world just doesn't make any sense to my sensitive heart. And I know a lot of sensitives. We go through tensions like this. We go through adversity. We can awaken in the midst of great adversity, no matter what that looks like. Victim consciousness can take on, again, like I said, many forms and many flavors. You don't have to be bullied, in childhood to have a victim story. You don't have to be abused or traumatized to have a victim story. Victim stories can really latch on and adhere to us just through life, through experiencing frustration and being like, well, where is my ascension, right? Where is my liberation? Where is my gratitude? Where is my abundance? I'm doing all the abundance workshops and I'm still broke.
Okay, that's it. You nailed it. And I love that. The attention to the victim. Well, it's funny because that victim is nothing more than my 3-year-old throwing a tantrum.
Mm-hmm.
Really. That precious little 3-year-old, that precious need I'm not having met. As one of my great mentors taught me, and Marshall Rosenberg taught him, it's that great need to be loved. And that victim in all of us, and I could have won an Emmy, Jamie, for my victim. It was good. It was big.
Mm-hmm.
The victim is crying out, saying, see me, hear me, feel me, love me, understand me. Somebody see beneath the mask I'm putting up of victim, please. And the compassion word that you spoke of was the key. That's the key essence to us seeing each other. Yeah. I love how that you shared that. I love how you're sharing vulnerably your authentic voice. And I love how you shared it's like this trail of being attacked. Do you, I'm curious, so where do you think that stemmed from, and how did you switch it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To this day, and my whole life is about authenticity. This is what I teach, and great abundance is actually in authenticity, and it's in coming into presence. And that doesn't have to look like anything. There's no rules to this. So sorry to say it, but I'm going to say it. A lot of those abundance workshops are not teaching us the full truth. Okay. And that's why I'll say authentically, I to this day do not know why I received so much bullying in my childhood. There's a lot of 3D world stories that make sense. There's a lot of I could believe the racism, I could believe in the sexism, I can believe in all these paradigms, sure, but really, I know I'm not even just this body. You know, I'm a multidimensional being. I'm one with the stars. I'm one with the angels. And I've always known this since day one. And so having that awareness while also being in the body, that's a lot. That's a lot. And for those who understand this, who just know it inside themselves, that they do not come from Earth, okay? And that this is a second home, and that we have volunteered to be here. We have volunteered to be here for the purpose of being lit up, for shining our light, for being that sensitive, precious light that a paradigm around us is afraid of, may find intimidating, may find that it rubs against their wounds and their victim stuff, right? So here we are coming in as these radical light beings into this incarnation, into this world to change it, to influence it, to become these peaceful waves of emanation, just emanating from us and through us to slowly and gradually, gently change this world, to change this paradigm. And of course, people are going to react to that, right? Of course, the status quo is going to react to that. And there is no rhyme or reason for it. But like you said, there is freedom, there is liberation for us lighthouses, for us as sensitives, if you identify as starseed or volunteer, whatever it might be, you know, just to have an open heart with a light that's shining in the middle of a sea of darkness is a lot. It's a lot, and it is a purpose. And I didn't find that peace. I didn't find what I was looking for until I found that, until I really deeply understood that I have a purpose here, that I belong here, and I need to stop listening to the stories that are being projected onto me that I somehow don't fit in. And all these gifts that I have psychically and intuitive knowing that I have doesn't quite fit in. I made it fit in. I said, you know what? I'm going to stop listening to that. And I will belong here. I am here for a reason.
Mm, wow. That is extraordinary. You know, we go through, and so what I've really heard you say is that it's not necessary to know the reason. It's the acceptance of sometimes life is what it is. There
Mm,
doesn't need to be a rhyme or reason, right or wrong, attached to it. Rather, the experience taking from it and how can you use it now?
mhm,
All
mhm.
that pressure, all the pressure on the coal to make the diamond.
That's it.
You know, all of that in the in the darkest of rooms, the one thing that will always hold true is a spark of light will be seen, the tiniest spark. It could be so small that you barely saw it, but the thing is you saw it. You saw it. And that's what you're here is what you're here to help people to discover what that essence of who that they are really is. What brought you to Mount Shasta?
Hmm.
I'm fascinated with Mount Shasta. I want to tell you, and I ask you the question, but before I do, I actually want to show you something because on February 22nd this year, so 2/2/2/22 at 2:22 p.m. I happened to be inside of the crystal shop that's right off the freeway there, off the 5, on my way home. I was on my way back from my husband and I were on our way back from Washington. And I at 2, it's right on here. It even says it at Mount Shasta, 2 2. This is what I'm in front of. Look at these. Now, I want to tell you, if you look at these sound bowls, audience, these are the types of sound bowls. Oh, your sound bowls are incredible. I just don't even know. There's not words. So there was one more thing I picked up, and it was this Lemurian seed.
Wow.
Look at this Lemurian seed crystal. Do you see him in there? Isn't it awesome?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I can
And
tell.
and all of the, oh, it's a powerful crystal, so powerful that on our way home, it disappeared out of our car. Nothing
Mhm.
else, just that. It decided it was staying right. It just wanted us to get it out of jail and it was gonna like, bye bye. I've given you what you need. Now I'm off and away. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Well, poof. Yeah, my husband just goes poof. Yeah, just like that. Poof. So I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated with Mount Shasta. And in fact, I started doing a lot of reading so that I could understand the magic that is
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
So I'm really curious what brought you there, and let's dive into sound healing and what that you are doing with that process today.
Mount Shasta is a magical place, and it's so funny because not a lot of Californians know about what's in their backyard. you know, I've met so many pilgrims and monks who come to Mount Shasta. They call it the Tibet of the Americas, and my fellow shamans, we understand this as the root chakra of the earth. And the chakra, the planetary body, the earth is a planetary body that has chakras just like our body does. So the root is a very active energy that emanates from the mountain. And it's not just the root energy, it's also the crown. So it's a place where literally heaven meets earth. Your higher self, your higher being that emanates all that is, actually comes down. It comes down onto this planet to belong, to come into purpose, okay, true purpose, to sing our song out into the world. It's a place where we learn mastery. We learn mastery. And healing is a big part of that mastery. I call it self mastery. And that's why the Ascended Masters are here. They're very present, and we often hear stories in Mount Shasta of locals encountering Ascended Masters, such as Saint Germain, Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, angels, the Telosians, who are the Lemurians under the mountain. And I'll speak to that.
I
Um,
have truth chills everywhere. Anybody else have truth chills right now as she's talking? Can you feel it? The ascended masters are present. The energy is so big.
mhm, mhm.
So that makes complete sense about the mountain and why you're there. But yes, continue about sound and healing.
Yes, yes. So it was actually the Ascended Masters that called me to the mountain. And the mountain itself, there's a beautiful spirit, a rainbow spirit. That is the mountain, the spirit of Mount Shasta. And this called me during the time of intense waking up, intense shedding, intense radical let go in my life. And I was working in tech in San Francisco, living the American dream, having all the things, penthouse apartment, success that I, just did on my own. I felt like, oh, I'm this strong, independent woman. And I wasn't fulfilled. I was not fulfilled in my soul. I was not fulfilled in my body. My body was breaking out in disease. And I knew that I had to heal myself. So Mount Shasta was one of the places that called me home. And it kickstarted a process of realizing what I needed to do from my soul in order to heal myself from 4 diseases I had running concurrently in my body at the time. And I came to Mount Shasta. I saw Mother Mary just present to me at the very top of the mountain. That was my first visit to the mountain. And I broke down tears. And again, this was during a time I didn't know anything. I was very shut off from spirituality. I was never religious. Mother Mary to me was just a concept, but here I am actually feeling her presence in front of me at this mountain that just appeared out of nowhere in my awareness, said, you need to come here. You need to come and shed and just take a vacation and just be here. And that was my very first experience of Mount Shasta. And that connection led me to the right path of learning how to heal my body. And I successfully did when I flew all around the world and eventually landed in Bali. And that's where I really came home to a lot of the fragments of myself, bringing them back through soul retrieval, through sound healing, through working with shamans and many incredible mentors along my path who presented. And we got myself back together. We got my heart healed. And I learned through apprenticing through these incredible masterful healers, what it is I'm here to do, what my gifts are, and what my life path is, what my dharma is. And this is so important for many of those of us who are waking up. You know, we feel this calling, we feel this pull of, okay, what is my dharma? What is my calling? What is this soul song, right? Why am I here? And this is the invitation I feel like many people are waking up to now, where self-love takes us is into understanding that, into realizing our true selves, and coming into greater tools such as compassion and gratitude, so we could sustain a higher vibration and walk that walk. You know, walk it abundantly. We cannot walk this from lack. We cannot serve others, right, from a place of deprivation.
Just drop. That's just so good. I hope everybody just caught that. Really, that was. You cannot do this from a place of lack, of deprivation. It's so true. What you've just said is just so powerful. The soul retrieval, finding yourself again. You didn't have a connection, but you felt the inner calling when you went to Mount Shasta. And a lot of you out there, you have this inner calling. You don't know what it is. It's okay though. Feel it. Let it guide you. And I'm loving how that you allowed it to guide you then to Bali, to really go in and then work with some shaman, and how that you were an apprentice to that, to finding what it is that you are here to do. And I can promise you what you are here to do blows me away. I could sit and listen to you play those bowls all day long. It is amazing to me. You play some of the most incredible sound bowls I've ever heard in my life, actually. There's this one that you called, I think it's the mother. It's the mother. Is that what I think you called it, the mother? It's this big, beautiful, gorgeous crystal. Oh, the essence from it. But then you have another crystal bowl that's a Lemurian crystal bowl. Now, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about with the Lemurian seed, Jamie, do you mind giving them a couple of words about what the Lemurian seed is?
Yes, absolutely. So we can't talk about the Lemurian seed crystals. She's speaking to crystals. They're very special, and they emanate a great deal of wisdom. And these crystals, they actually just show up. You know, you can't mine these on the earth. They just show up like on the beach.
They do just show up. She's right. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And they're beautiful clear quartz crystals, but what makes them a Lemurian seed is that they come with these striations. Okay. And you can simply run your fingers across those striations, and many people who are receptive and open, and it's their time to receive, will receive downloads from the Lemurian seed crystals. And these downloads it's like information packets. Information that comes from the time of Lemuria, the time of enlightened civilization on Earth. And Earth has had experiences of enlightened civilization many times before. Mu is the mother continent, where we all lived peacefully and in harmony for one of the first times in Earth's history. And then from Mu, Mu went through it went through an event where it is no more. And what came out of Mu is Lemuria and Atlantis. So if you come to Mount Shasta, you're going to hear about this lore a lot. It is what tends to draw people to Mount Shasta's Lemurian energy, the Lemurian legend, as well as the Atlantean legend. And we just have a lot of starseeds here who are very awakened to their past life memories of these times. And that's what makes it so much fun for a being like me. This is a place, this mountain is truly a place where you could come home to various aspects of self that are still living in those times. Okay. I'm not saying living in the past, but a part of us that knows and is connected to and is actually living, because there is no time. So time is all now. So it's actually living in Lemuria, or it's living in Atlantis, and it's understanding what it was like to work with crystal technology, to work with light technology, to work with sound waves, to levitate things and to create things. This is ultimately what sound is for. It's.
I love it. I am loving this. I love, that was a perfect explanation of Lemurian seeds. And I am telling you, if you're just joining us, I was sharing a story a little bit ago, and where I showed a crystal that I bought at the crystal shop that's right there in Mount Shasta, but I've never seen a crystal shop like this either. There's nothing, everything about Mount Shasta though, you can feel it. It's there. It's like being hugged. The energy is so beautiful. Jamie, I'm curious. I mean, what do you think about the fact that I was there? No plan. No plan to come to Mount Shasta. No plan to be standing at those crystal bowls at 222, at 222, at all twos. And I'm standing there. What's your take on that?
That's the way to come. That's the way to come to Mount Shasta. Have no plan. Well, this is the divine feminine. And I forgot to say this, but Mount Shasta is also the emanation of the divine feminine for the western part of the planet. The things I've come to learn and understand as truth, as resonant as truth for me, is that this mountain is holding the pillar of light of the mother. Okay, it is a divine feminine light that is being held for the planet, and especially here for America. And the reason why I'm here in America, I've come back to Mount Shasta from paradise, living in Bali and in India, and I didn't want to go, didn't want to go away. But Mother India and Mother Bali said, no, you need to go. You need to go to America, because America is where the healing is needed. America is where the wounds are going to be bursting open. And the divine feminine is needed there. The divine feminine light is needed here. So it was explained to me as if it were ground zero. And it was not an easy, choice for me to come back to Bali to Mount Shasta from Bali, and really, be of a much higher level of service than I ever was before. Because here you're really in it. You're really in the web, if you want to say, this web of lies and deceit and lower vibrational energy all the time. There's a field of consciousness here in the West, where it's just very mind based. It's very mind oriented, and I noticed that. For the most part, people can have a really difficult time in surrendering into the heart and getting to know the heart space. And this is really where the liberation is happening, where we're receiving the light codes, where we are vibrating at a much higher vibration, is when we can allow the mind to truly rest into the heart and come into this new place of being and existing, is from this heart, from the heart consciousness, from absolute love consciousness. And Mount Shasta, again, this is divine feminine. Okay, it's about entering the realm of the divine feminine. That doesn't mean leaving the masculine behind. It actually means bringing the masculine, the mind, with us, so we could come into balance together. And so that's what's happening here here on the planet, and Mount Shasta is assisting in this balancing of the poles. Okay, the masculine and feminine
That's
poles.
it right there. That's it. That's it. You just said it. That was it. That's why I was there at that time with my husband standing there,
Yes.
who took the picture while the sound bowls were playing at that time in front of that. Is it? It is the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. Oh, truth chills. You,
Yes.
ah, woo, you are remarkable, remarkable. Seriously, that you are just, you emanate what we all strive to have. I love this. I love teaming up with you, magical women, to bring this world back into balance. Thank you. Woo! We love our divine masculines out there, and we have another one here who is watching. Michael, yes, it's the time is now. The time is now, and
Absolutely.
oh, it's Leland. Leland, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. And let me just, add this. Let's stop striving. Okay, let's put the effort down. This is the other thing the great mother, the divine feminine, really wishes us to hear and receive. Stop efforting. We are not here to prove ourselves. Okay, we're not here to prove that we exist. We already exist. We're already here. We're already here going through our stuff, and that stuff has a purpose. Okay, that stuff is here to catapult us into the greatest growth we will ever know, because this is planet Earth. This is the experience that planet Earth gifts to us, is in that growth. We can grow like this, and no other place can really give us this kind of growth. It's rich here. It's tangible. It's visceral. It's incredible how much we can experience and really tap into if we can just reframe some things, right? Get out of our heads, get out of that sticky victim web, and really come into the heart. Really trust the God goddess, okay, the divine source that lives within us, that's here. Trust in thy soul and thy spirit, because it's going to take us home, and we don't need anything outside of ourselves. All right, that's the other fundamental truth. We don't need anything outside of ourselves. Sure, tools are going to help, right? Sound healing really does help, and it's absolutely magical. And there's a lot of I'll speak to the sound healing here in a moment, but these are all just environments and spaces so we can feel safe enough to start trusting in the purity inside. Okay, the pure power and love that we have inside. It is in each and every one of us. And one of those, to really tap that, we must let go of the effort and the idea that we need to strive for that, right? That we need to win at this. It's a bit of that paradigm of like, let's win at it,
I love that. So what I'm really grasping here is to let go and surrender the idea that you have to do, rather
Mm-hmm.
fall into the space of surrender and being.
Yeah.
I love this. Ease and grace, right, Michael? Absolutely. Ease and grace. What is an exercise that you can share with everyone? And I know it involves sound
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that will help them to step into their heart, because I know that when I listen to you play that I fall into my heart easily. But what about for when we're just out and about and we need to fall into our heart and get out of our headspace? And I have to agree with you that there is definitely a lot of that here in the West, for sure. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. But, but but what I also know is that's why we are here, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can help that
Mm-hmm.
along. And some people are just doing it from such an extraordinary level, like yourself, that I'm just honored that you're here. You know.
Thank you, Debbie.
S- So
I'm
yeah,
honored
but what?
for you too. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetness.
So yes, and this is what I teach are the tools, because we can't always find ourselves in a beautiful environment where the sound waves are assisting us, bringing us into, the vibration of truth and the vibration of presence. So when we're not in the environment that could facilitate that for us, then what we can simply do, and I teach this in my program, It's about compassion. Okay. Compassion is number one. And again, this is things we underestimate, things we do not, the paradigm around us does not value. And that is where we need to shift. We need to shift what we value, really start valuing the things that matter. Okay. And compassion is the savior, because there is no external savior. And this is what Yeshua, beautiful Yeshua, and the Christed family and the light has taught me. The savior is within, and it's in compassion. So here's the thing about compassion. Compassion completely unwinds and uncreates karmic tension. Okay, it's these karmic imprints that keep us bound up in the struggle and in patterns of sabotage and suffering. And I know a lot of us, especially the light leaders right now, are taking the lead courageously. And also, it can be difficult because we're doing this in the middle of a storm. We're doing this in the middle of great adversity. And so compassion, this is what we need to give to ourselves. So I'm going to show you a really beautiful tool. And it's a quick tool anyone can do. You start with what I'm doing right now and what Debbie and I have been doing throughout this beautiful conversation naturally. Putting your hand on your heart. Okay. Putting your hand on your heart. And that starts to cut off the focus from your mind. It starts to bring your awareness to your heart. And now I want you to become aware of your heartbeat. And as you become aware of your heartbeat, now your entire toroidal field of energy, it's your energy field, is changing. And it's coming into its natural dance, its natural rhythm. You're starting to feel present in yourself. And now, in this beautiful, precious heartbeat of yours, I want you to recall a place of tension, a place of struggle that's up for you right now. And don't get stuck in the story of it. Just bring it up as an energy. How does it feel to experience that struggle? And now, from your heartbeat, okay, your place of presence, your place of infinite love, I want you to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel this way. And you're saying, I'm sorry you feel this way to that wounded energy, that energy that's struggling inside, the energy that is maybe feeling afraid, sad, tense, angry, confused. And it's your love, your heart, that's saying, I'm sorry you are feeling this way. I accept that you're feeling this way. And I'm here to love you anyway. And just take a few breaths into that and notice what happens.
Beautiful, complete, just release.
Mm-hmm.
Freedom.
That's it. What was that, like 1 minute?
Yeah, just so beautiful, beautiful. I love that. And Michael says, a divine being of light, divine love, and divine power. the soul free from attached to social spectrum, remembering what we truly are getting back to source level. You betcha, Michael. That's right. That's right. I absolutely loved that process. That was so beautiful. And I hope everybody who is doing this right now or on the replay has just experienced what I did. And that's just just to relax into the moment. Days get busy and things just get tight and they get just, we're just go, 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 go. So it just felt good. And you know what's interesting is that during this experience with you, one of the things that was present for me was that I caught myself wanting to look outside, what situation, and I couldn't find one. And I'm thinking, shit, there's nothing external that I could like pull from right now. Huh. And I looked internal to see, how am I being hard on me? Instead, I gravitated to that naturally, but I was aware of the thought pattern of attempting to find something outside of me and not having the capability of doing so.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm appreciating that because that's huge. I'm only looking at, okay, that was a self-love tool that you just shared. And my experience was that there was no other place to go to. And then as we accepted and fell into, there's the vision of the higher self holding the earth self saying, see, everything's good. I accept that you're here. And that is the divine mother that comes in to hug us and say, everything's going to be just fine. I absolutely love this. I want to talk a little bit how you bring gratitude and appreciation into your work through sound.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I'm just feeling your waves. Give me a moment. That is yummy. That is yummy, and I just need to celebrate, and just to take a moment to celebrate that.
Sure.
Whew, because this is what the divine feminine coming back home to Mother Earth is all about. It's us remembering this wisdom and remembering the truth of that. It's already within. And Debbie was the role model of this. How it is already within. We are our own mother and fathers that we're looking for. Okay, that wounded inner child tends to cry out for the mother it didn't have, or the father it didn't have, or the love it didn't get from its mother, or the love it didn't get from its father. And we can be that now for our inner child, and that is how, we have to uncomfortably let go of our need for it to come from outer sources. And I know that can be quite difficult, and it can be, that's a stretch. But actually it's right here. We just need to, the guidance, the right guidance, and to feel safe to do that. So it's really awesome. Let's not underplay this.
Okay, I love that you brought it back, girl. Just that is it right there in a nutshell. But that is correct. And the beauty in this is that it wasn't the fight this time, but rather the relaxing into. But I'd like to also bring awareness to the fact that you do provide a safe environment. And I know that all of you can feel you must feel really safe right now, because I know I do. And I'm here on camera. We can't see you watching. So I know if I'm feeling safe, that I know it is emanating out throughout the collective that is here right now and will be on the replays. And I want to say good morning, Ellie. Good morning, sweetheart. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So before that we step into the gratitude and sound, one of the things I want to talk about is that you were one of our special guests on this Wednesday night. This last Wednesday night, we had a self-love fest, and the replay is getting ready to come out again next Wednesday. You guys don't want to miss that. Plus, I'm going to have a couple of replays through the weekend right here on Spirituality Gone Wild. But it's also going to be back on Unify again on Wednesday. And if anybody has missed it, please check back in. Make sure that you're watching tomorrow morning, because I may have a special surprise where Jamie's concerned. But you're going to have to tune in to Women Rising on Unify or right here on Spirituality Gone Wild. But I would really appreciate everybody going over and liking Unify. And the reason I want you to do that is that they do some of the most extraordinary work that's being done on any platform of this kind out there. So I'm done with my spiel now. Back to gratitude and sound. And gratitude and sound. And my last question for you is simply, who 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 do you hold gratitude for in your heart, who helped you to get to where you are?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. That's a beautiful question. Wow. And I'm coming into contact with that answer. The awareness is the world. I hold gratitude for the world. And that's a lot.
That's the best gratitude I've ever heard. That's so awesome.
That's a lot. And as I there's tears coming for this this awareness, because holding gratitude for the world, having gratitude for the world, feels like that storm I was speaking about, being an island of peace in the middle of a storm. And I'm just remembering how much my inner child, my little girl, didn't like the world. And she hated the world at one point. She was like, why would I love this world? Why would I be grateful for this world? This world has hated me. This world is, it didn't accept me from day one. It was so mean. It battered me. Oh, but again, it's through the compassion. This pain, we're not meant to just stay in pain. And I'm grateful for my capacity to continually, okay, I want to message this so we understand this is not just this isn't a one thing. This is a constant, this is a continuous process. We are a continuous process of love and learning. And I have tools where I can continually bring myself through tunnels of pain and out to the other side, where I see and have compassion for myself and all those wounded aspects of self. And they can now come home onto that island of peace, relax into that island of peace, and realize I'm here now. I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. Like, this is it. I'm here now. And it's okay. It's safe. It's safe to be here now, right? It's safe to be present and to be authentic. And let's let the fear go. Let the fear go of speaking about that, of showing up in that way, right? Of just being yourself and just showing up in your light. And on that island of peace, I feel absolute immense gratitude for the world and what it has taught me. What it has taught me. Because if I didn't have that tension, if I didn't have that suffering, I would not be here right now. I would not be here with a full heart going, this is it, guys. We're it. We're it. We can do this. We are way more powerful than we think we are. We're not hopeless. We're not powerless. We are the light. We are the way. There's no other way I could have known that for myself, and to speak it with authenticity, with conviction, if it weren't for that suffering, if it weren't for the world being upside down. So yeah, I'm grateful for the world.
I'm going to join you in being grateful for our world out there and for the people in it. And I am grateful for you being here today. I'm also in deep gratefulness for how that you present to the world, that the things that you bring forward, the sound healing that you bring forward, is truly remarkable. And again, everybody, you're going to need to catch the replay of the Self Love Fest next Wednesday, the 18th. Never mind. I'm not going to say the date. Next Wednesday coming up. If this is past that date, then go look for the Self Love Fest on Spirituality Gone Wild or unify.org, and you will find it. And I want to say, Ellie, thank you. I have so much appreciation and gratitude for you too. You bet. She is one of my Gratitude Alchemy Life Experiment students who has taken this life experiment and magically made it whatever she wanted in her own reality because she knows she's got the magic. You guys all have the magic. I listen to a song every day from Olivia Newton-John. It's called Magic. It's way back in the day from a movie called Xanadu. So I just ask Alexa to play Xanadu soundtrack, and there you go. And I get magic every time. So I want to thank you. Please, everybody, go to jamielou.com. It is floating across the screen here. And Jamie, thank you for bringing your magic here today. It has been extraordinary. I'm going to end us all with a little video about our self-love 30-day program that is coming. If you want to be part of this program, what you need to do is go to the link that's going to be provided in the chat. This is just a glance from the other night that we were just having a good old time, and you guys want to watch that replay. These are the gorgeous people that were performing that night that will be on that replay, and you don't want to miss it. And it's a self-love fest. It is truly a self-love fest. So we will see you on the flip, my friends. Bye.